Okay, welcome back everybody. This is going to be a series of videos that I'm going to be doing that is going to be discussing individual upgrades to the EDC X9, X9L series of guns that Wilson Combat has that I personally think are significant enhancements to the 1911 type design. Some of them will address performance. There'll be performance-based features to work in your favor. Others will be retroactive engineering upgrades to address issues that go on, with long-term 1911 use. And so, the first one that I want to talk about here is the plunger tube for the slide stop and the thumb safety. So, traditionally on a 1911, this is a part that is staked in. It'll be staked through the frame. Typically, the original GI version will be staked twice, and upgraded versions, people trying to address this issue, they would stake them 4 times. And the staking is something that can fail. It can either fail under trauma or heavy stress, or sometimes even just under use. So, guns recoil, and that vibration slowly can cause things to shake apart or come loose. And that is an area where the plunger tube on the 1911 is vulnerable. And so ideally, if John Moses Browning could have, he would have probably put this structure inside the frame. However, there is no room inside the frame with how the trigger and all that works. So it's on the external part of the frame. So also, since it's external, it is subjected to possibly being crushed or damaged. And so which obviously will shut the gun down. So the number one way that people will see issues with the plunger tube develop is if it comes unstaked. What will happen is the plunger tube will move out of position, and this plunger, which is why it's called the plunger tube, there's a plunger on the back side that works the thumb safety and a plunger on the front side that works the slide stop. If it comes out of position, it locks up, in many cases will lock up your safety. So you'll draw your gun and you'll have a dead gun. What Wilson has done is, instead of having a plunger tube that you can stake into the frame, or having a plunger tube, the other solution would be to mill it, or to have it be part of the frame when you forge the frame, which is fine. However, the issue is, if you do damage that plunger tube, you have to shave it off, and then you're back to staking a replacement plunger tube on there. So what Wilson has done, if you can see, I'll have to probably roll in some photographs. This plunger tube is, first of all, it's not round, it's a little bit stronger, and it's actually in a dovetail in the frame. So when you take these parts out, it slides into the frame, and so it's its own structure, and it's not going to come unstaked because it's not staked in there. It's not something that is integral to the frame that you would have to machine off if it fails, because it's dovetailed in there. So it actually fits in there almost like a sight. Now, I have never had to change one of these. I've never known anybody that, would have to change one, but if you ever did, I don't know how easily that comes out, but obviously because it's dovetailed in there, it can come out. Whether if you can get it out at home or whether you have to take it to a gunsmith and they can push it out, I don't think it'd be that big of a deal. Certainly Wilson would take care of it for you. So I think that's a pretty significant upgrade to a substantial weakness to the 1911 design. So, and why it's important is because it's integral to what everybody likes about the 1911. So you've got your thumb safety and your slide stop, and so you can't, if you seriously change the format of how all this works, you're changing the user interface of what a 1911 is, to at least to the user and how their experience is. So I think that's a significant upgrade. I think that's probably the best solution that's ever been come up with the plunger tube, and I think John Moses Browning himself would be pretty proud of it. I have to give it to Wilson. I think that's pretty ingenious. They must have worked very hard on that. So anyway, if you want to see any more pictures or videos or links talking about the EDC X9 or EDC X9L guns, please go to our website, john1911.com. That's JOHN1911.com. Remember, it's all about shooting guns and having fun. Everybody, have a good day.